Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you two different types of methods you can use to hold angles in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video. If there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, or if you have a specific topic that you are struggling with and would like me to cover it, well, comment it down below so I know to do them. And before this video starts, I would just like to quickly let you all know that I have a Discord server for all of your Siege related discussions, and if you are looking for people to play with, there is also a place for that. As well as this, feel free to ask me any questions that you have regarding Siege in the Discord. If you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get on into it. First of all, we're going to be starting off with bullet hole peaks. Now, the following methods are going to be quick and simple adjustments that you can make to your game, but a lot of players actually don't use these, and they can be very valuable to implement into your own game. A bullet hole peak is when you go ahead and shoot a bullet into a soft wall, for example, and that goes ahead and makes a bullet hole that can see through the other side of the wall. Players will then go ahead and hold that angle, maybe looking onto a door or a window to get a line of sight onto the player. These are really effective to hold certain lines of sight, and they can be made on many walls. Now, the reason why these are so effective is because if an attacker was to go ahead and walk into a room, through a door, and they would go ahead and see that soft wall there, then normally they'd go ahead and think nothing of it, but actually there is a bullet hole in that wall where you're holding that line of sight. And now, most attackers aren't actually going to see that line of sight. It's quite rare for that attacker to walk into the room and spot that line of sight unknowingly. But again, this isn't going to affect this method because you are already holding that line of sight, so as soon as they come in through that door, you're going to be able to see them and kill them. Even if you don't have the best reaction times, you'll still be able to kill them within that time period that you have. Now, there's another advanced variation of this method, and it can make it even harder for attackers. The same concept will still apply. You'll be peeking through a bullet hole holding that angle onto the attacker. The main difference here is that you're going to be creating multiple bullet holes instead of the single one. So what you want to go ahead and do is pick the line of sight that you're going to be holding and create multiple bullet holes on that soft wall. I would recommend making them look realistic at crouch height and at standing height and not above your head. And this is a very quick method to do. It won't take long to set up at all, and you'll be able to have a really effective line of sight. Now, the more advanced version of this is going to work better against higher skilled players, as they might already be aware of that bullet hole peak. Now I'm going to be explaining to you on how you can counter this method. And for this one, it's a very simple counter, simply droning out the room before you enter. Droning is a key aspect to Rainbow Six Siege, and if you are looking for a full guide on it, then I have a card in the top right that'll take you to that video if you require the information. If you go ahead and drone out that room that you're going to be entering through, you'll be able to see that defender if you drone carefully and efficiently. Now, you don't necessarily have to go ahead and see that defender. You could just see that bullet hole watching the line of sight, and you will be alert because you now know about this trick. In response to this, as a defender, you need to go ahead and move away from that line of sight, as it is very risky to go ahead and hold it. As if the attacker makes the call out to his team and coordinates well with his team, then you will be pinched and put at risk. Now we're going to be moving on to the next method of holding angles, which is pixel peaks. If you're not too sure on what a pixel peak is, well, it's when a defender or an attacker is able to go ahead and hold that line of sight where they can only see a pixel of that enemy if they were to walk past. Now, this is a great type of angle to hold down, as if you do go ahead and do that, your positioning is going to be on point, as the defender or the attacker will not be able to see your body and you're exposing very little of it. If you are not too sure on the concept of positioning and you would like some tips for it, well, there'll be a card in the top right to take you to that video if you do need that information. You may have been killed before, and you might have not actually gone ahead and seen where that enemy was, even though you were holding the line of sight around his area. One of the reasons why this could have happened was because he was holding a pixel peak. Pixel peaks can give you the advantage when you're holding that line of sight and the enemy turns the corner. As well as this, they also allow you to spawn peek from certain angles and for yourself to go ahead and counter spawn peaks. There are many spots in which you can stay behind cover whilst checking the spawn peaks from a pixel peak. There are many situations in which they can be used in, and they are really effective. Now we're going to be talking about how you yourself can counter these pixel peaks. First of all is simply by expanding your game knowledge and learning more pixel peaks. As if you then know that certain position that enemy could be holding on you, then you can go ahead and counter it because you know it yourself. As well as this, again, we're going to be referring back to droning. If you're an effective droner and you can drone efficiently and carefully, well, you'll then be able to go ahead and find that defender who is holding that line of sight 4 pixel peek down on you, and then you can make your own judgment on whether you feel confident in yourself to go ahead and push forward and take him out with your aim, or instead you can rotate to a different point on the map and then you'll be able to push through without being in his line of sight. These two methods of holding different angles are very effective and they are very simple for you to go ahead and implement into your game, which is why I would highly recommend you to do so. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did or you found this video useful, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.